9 years ago, Mumu fled Myanmar for Australia. She works in the cafe of a social enterprise which gives opportunities to refugees and helps them improve their English.
Improved a little bit. I wasn't able to talk to customers before, so now I was like, every day talking to them, so just, very confident about that.
More than a quarter of people in Australia were born outside the country, but it's one group of immigrants, refugees, that has dominated political and media attention. Australia's government has largely stopped refugees taking boats to Australia. To deter others, it's imprisoned all who have arrived since 2013 on remote islands in other countries. When a minor party suggested a big increase in the number of refugees Australia takes through the United Nations resettlement programme, the government rejected it with this.
They won't be numerate or literate in their own language, let alone English, and these people would be taking Australian jobs, there's no question about that, and for many of them that would be unemployed, they would languish in unemployment queues and on Medicare and the rest of it, so there would be a huge cost.
The comments provoked an angry reaction and an online video in response.
Who are you talking about when you say these things?
I thought the White Australia policy ended over 40 years ago.
I guess not.
Isn't it enough
that you detain us indefinitely?
That we are treated like criminals?
For fleeing war and persecution?
In Melbourne, Al Jazeera brought together some of the group involved.
It was really important to be part of this video to show that we are not like sitting around just listening to these comments and going, okay, sure.
If the racist rhetoric is not actually challenged, it'll generally be left unchecked.
Many from non-immigrant backgrounds too dislike the government's position on offshore detention. These so-called mums for refugees took over the Sydney office of the Prime Minister early in the election campaign. What frustrates these protesters is that it's not just Malcolm Turnbull and his party that have a very hardline attitude towards refugees who come by sea. The main opposition Labour Party's policies when it comes to so-called border protection are virtually indistinguishable from the government's. So the policies haven't been a major theme of the campaign. As for refugees, well, until they get Australian citizenship, they don't get a vote. Andrew Thomas, Al Jazeera, Sydney.